Whether you want to make stone or glass wool, both follow similar manufacturing recipes. First, preheat your furnace to 1500 degrees Celsius for stone wool, or 1400 degrees Celsius for glass wool. Most commonly used are coupler furnaces for stone wool, or an electric melting furnace for glass wool. But no worries if not. A flame-fired furnace gets the job done for both materials. Though best keep in mind that electric melting exhibits the lowest emission factor as other melting techniques. Gas, coke, or oil emit more CO2. To manufacture stone wool, take a batch of rock. Basalt will do, but slag, recycled from the steel industry, is even better. Once everything is graded, crushed, and well mixed together, pour into the furnace. Then, redirect the flow into a spinning chamber where molten lava will be spun and transformed into rock strands and stone wool, just like making cotton candy. Don't forget to add a touch of thermosetting resin during the spinning process and some oil. This will make sure that the fibers stick together. Finally, stack in layers, compress, cure with heat to hold shape, cool, squeeze, slice, and you're done. Glass wool is just as easy. Sand, limestone, soda ash, dolomite, borax are great materials to use, and cheap. Though using recycled glass, be it from window panes or glass bottles, as with slag and stone wool, goes a long way to save the planet. Make sure you mix well, then throw the batch in the furnace. The important step here is to keep the temperature at 1400 degrees to maintain viscosity. In the meantime, prepare the binder. Silicone emulsion is a good, as in sustainable option. At the fiberizing process, molten glass is spun into millions of fibers and the binder applied. Then, same with stone wool, stack, compress, cure in an oven, cool, squeeze, slice, and voila! This is how you make rows or slabs of stone wool and glass wool. In Europe, the manufacturing of mineral wool is monopolized by 5 major companies: Saint-Gobain, Rockwool International, Park Group, Ursa, and Knauf Insulation. Collectively, these companies run 67 production plants located in Germany, Finland, Poland, France, to name a few. In recent years, upcycling has gained grounds. Rockwool International, for instance, uses slag from the metal industry, and Saint-Gobain reuses recycled glass to produce glass wool. The actual reuse of mineral wool, however, has seen slower progress across most European countries. The reason being that weight-based landfill is cheap, at the very least cheaper than reuse. The exceptions are Denmark, Germany, and the Netherlands, where policies have set economic incentives to recycle and reuse mineral wool. Saint-Gobain, mentioned beforehand, has pioneered a service enabling the recovery of glass wool waste after the construction, demolition, or renovation of a building. As for the UK specifically, most, if not all, materials needed to manufacture mineral wool can be sourced locally. British coasts and land are rich in dolomite, limestone, and sand. Most of the major companies operating in Europe are also operating in Britain. Knauf Insulation produces glass wool from 3 plants located in Cwmbran in Wales, Queensferry in Scotland, and St. Helens in England. Rockwool International has been manufacturing mineral wool in Bridgend, Wales since 1979. At the moment, there are no overarching scheme, be it at a national or regional scale, to recycle mineral wool in the UK. However, some manufacturers, local suppliers, and sorting companies offer recycling services. Rockwool International recycles offcuts of insulation slabs at their Bridgend plant. Knauf Insulation partnered up with Veolia to recycle used glass into glass wool. This goes to show that the means to transition to a circular economy exists, but its implementation still needs to be generalized. For this physical study, we purchased a roll of Knauf rock-wool insulation. It is 200 mm thick and 1,140 wide, priced at £23.50. The first step of the making process is assembling the timber frame, to which we attached a section of charred shingles. After inserting the roof felt at the back of the shingles, we proceeded to fit the rock wool in the frame. Wearing a mask is a safety requirement because of the wool's floating particles. The rock wool is unrolled, cut to size, and fit in the frame. Finally, a piece of plasterboard is attached to the frame, covering and protecting the insulation. There is no observable damage in removing the rock wool from the frame. However, the damage that rock wool typically sustains is long-term. That is why protecting it from external exposure could favor its reuse in the future.